What's up guys, Iceman here. So in this video I wanted to talk some about what I might do for the upcoming ladder reset that many of us are anticipating will take place somewhere in the time frame of the next month or two. So for the longest time I've really been planning on making a necromancer, but not just any necro, a corpse explosion slash summon hybrid necro, which is really the only decent summon necro you can make as of right now. I'll show you why in a minute. But basically, you get a kill in like this, and then you can cast Corpse Explosion and just pop the entire screen. And if you have an item like Enigma, or what I did at the initial release of D2R, where I just had a Nadge's Puzzler Staff on Switch, I was able to teleport with that. But Enigma is it's pretty important for this build, so it's really going to be the first item that I strive to get. Not to assume I'll get the damn thing, because I generally don't get the currency to make something like Enigma or Infinity on a ladder reset. But nonetheless, it's a goal to strive towards, so that's really what I'm looking forward to. So without Enigma, it's just a little slower. Still, you get a kill in, you pop the corpses, and it wipes the screen. So I'll show you how it does in the Chaos. And then I'll show you the gear in just a moment here. Now this is a very high level Necromancer. It's level 99. And it has a ton of skills on gear, etc. But even with half the skills that I have here on gear, say that, like, for example, my Corpse Explosion is level 39. Say that it were roughly half that, right? Although there's no reason why it would be half that. Say that it were level 24. Right? I only had a few plus skills on my gear. It still does the same damage return. It does 7 to 120% of corpse life returned as damage. So the only thing that changes per level is the radius and the amount of mana that it costs. Granted, radius is very important, but you can still do a lot of damage and clear the screen alright with a relatively low corpse explosion. So if you max this out at 20, you're going to be doing a pretty good job. And as long as your mercenary can get a kill in, that's really all that matters. A lot of your skeletons are primarily here as meat shields. But just watch this. Look at how it gets to the open spot in the Chaos Sanctuary, and then you hope for your mercenary to get a kill in like you did right there. Did you get a kill in? Pop a corpse, pops a corpse. Yeah, has decent radius. But the nice thing about this is it can do pretty much anything, because of the fact that you have a lot of 1-point wonder curses, for example, at your disposal. So you can easily break physical immunes right from the beginning. At level 1 even, you can get amplified damage, which pierces enemy physical resistance by 100%. I think that's what it does. Damage taken plus 100% is what it does. And it can break physical immunes. And so can a skill like Decrepify, which is something that I really like to have. It's very exciting when you get to level 24 and you can put a point into Decrepify, because it's extremely helpful. So if you're running with a group, you can impress them with your skill at slowing a boss and vastly decreasing the boss's chance of slaughtering your group. And the same applies to elite monster packs and basically anything. Bell waves, etc. And Decrepify, of course, can also break physical immune. So, and I'll use it right here. I'll use it on these guys. See that? See how much it slows them? Maybe Doggy will stop barking. See how it slows them? Now, overall amp damage is going to cause them to take more damage. But as a safety measure, early on especially, you can use a skill like Decrepify. But in some instances where you can't get a damn kill in, this can be somewhat tedious. Because you're just waiting on a kill. I'll teleport to this guy, especially if you don't have teleport. Because then you lack the ability to control your minions. Most specifically your mercenary, who really is going to do the most damage out of all your minions by a long shot, if you equip him properly. But as mentioned, your goal is pretty much to get a kill in, and then you start popping corpses. And it can be a real pain in the ass, like right now, for example. I'll just skip that guy. He's a possessed. I think he was extremely resistant to physical damage. But, hold on. This is Player's 8. Yep, this is Player's 8. Okay, that's bad. That's bad, because I didn't make note of that at the beginning. But okay. That was Player's 8. So now there's a good point of reference of how powerful they are in Player's 8. Now, this mob right here will not be Player's 8. Alright, so it's no wonder. It's no wonder this build is sucking. Now you'll see the Necro. This guy's still Player's 8. So I'm going to avoid him. These guys are Player's 1. And I'm normally running Player's 1 anyway. On the ladder reset, run by myself pretty much. I might run with a homie or two, I'm not sure yet. We'll see how it goes. But I enjoy, I take my time. Looking forward to hanging out in the Den of Evil for a little while. Maybe an hour or so. Whacking things over the head with a club. Just taking in the experience. So that's really what I'm looking forward to. And the Necro was one of my top choices. But at this point, I'm somewhat contemplating between this and the Summon/Hybrid Droid. Which has received a vast improvement for this upcoming ladder reset. Where he can now have all of his summons out at once, not including the spirits. You can only have one spirit out at a time. But you can have your birds, your wolves, and your bear all out at once, so it's very helpful. And I think they've also received some minor buffs. So basically a hybrid summoner does a very nice job, and I'll showcase more of that in a future video. For example, here's him decrepifying Satan, so it just makes things easy. Slows him way down. Now you can watch how now amp damage will make him take a little bit more damage, a little faster. But then he's more of a threat toward your minions. Okay, and as for the gear, this is what he's wearing. Now this wand kind of sucks. Partly because it causes a bone prison to surround your necromancer. There's a chance that that'll happen on hit. And if you can't teleport, then you might be stuck in there momentarily, which can be a very great annoyance. So really, Heart of the Oak is a good option, and I'll probably strive to get a Heart of the Oak. And before that, just a Spirit Sword would do an okay job even. So this really isn't so much of an ideal weapon. I think Shaco in general is the best option here. The Great Life, Mana, 2 to Skills, Magic Find, you can put whatever you want in it. Maras, you could also get... I think I would prioritize P&B over Summon. Because that Corpse Explosion radius is key. And as mentioned, your Necromancer is often the one to get the first kill. So it's something to really consider. But that's kind of the fun part about this, is you can mix and match. And right now I have a bunch of Summon ones, but as you guys have seen, the Summon damage sucks ass. They're really just there to survive and mitigate some damage. There goes Doggy again. To mitigate some damage. So I wouldn't prioritize that. But the fun part is, say that your homies hit you up and they say, Iceman or Ice Boy or Ice Dick or whatever, I found a Summon GC. And then you can say, okay, I'll take it. Or then another will say, Ice Dick, I found a Poison and Bone GC, and you can say, okay, I'll take it. You can say, okay, I'll take it to both of those options. Because really, I wouldn't mind to stagger them. Just have mix and match them, man. Homo. Oh, no, this isn't Homo. This is Dark Force Spawn. That's a nice shield for this build. Because you can get up to 3 to all skills, basically. A Homo shield will be fine as well. With the very nice attributes that has to offer. Increased block chance, 2 to skills, a very nice amount of resistances, things like that. These boots are okay, but I'm really not going to try to get these. Like I said, your summons suck ass. So basically, having something like Alder's boots will be fine, and that's probably what I'll put on mine. SOJ, another SOJ, ARAC, kind of best in slot items here. And Enigma, of course, is a best in slot item as well. The torch and this and that. And then the skills. Amp damage, and I have a lot of skills left over, so you can start messing around with this and just, you know, it's at 18 yards, and I'll show you what that looks like. So you just put like a couple of amp damage, get it maybe up to 25 or so, put 1 into Decrepify, skip lower res. Mages are a complete waste of time, so don't bother with them. Their damage is wretched. Even if your mercenary has infinity and you're casting lower res, the damage is going to be absolutely horrible, so don't mess with the mages. And you'll be fine against Phys-immunes. Just break their physical immunity with Decrepify or Amp damage. And then I max Mastery, and I max Warrior, and I put just a few points into Summon Res. And then you can have 1 Golem out. So, that's all you gotta do, man. You max Corpse Explosion, and that's it. Yep. So, it does a very nice job. You can run a lot of the areas throughout the game as well. Which is another nice quality about this build. But primarily, I think you'll be running Chaos. But yeah, look at the radius from amp damage. It covers a lot of the screen. Yep. Yep. There it goes. There it goes. That's a good job. Does a good job, Ice Boy. Does a good job indeed. I'm going to hold on to that. Nice faith for a mercenary. But let me know what you guys think about this setup, and what do you intend to do for the ladder reset. I'll probably showcase the Druid, and a little bit of time to decide still what I'm going to do. So now that I'm on Players 1, it's much easier to get a kill in. Plus your Corpse Explosion generally clears the screen a lot faster, as opposed to having high player levels. So that's fine. Yep, but that's probably what I'm that might be what I do. Although I am leaning toward the Druid now, so I'll make a video on that. Become a channel member if you guys want to support me. Click the join button or the first link in the description below. And become a patron if you want. Blessings to you guys who support me. Peace be with you.